there will be very severe consequences.
Today on the Morning Edition, the president warns of severe consequences for Russia ahead of his meeting with Vladimir Putin. Details on what he has planned for tomorrow's summit, and we'll hear Governor Dunleavy's thoughts on the high-stakes meeting.
Juneau residents breathing a sigh of relief as the Mendenhall River floodwaters recede. We'll hear from a man who decided not to heed evacuation warnings, staying behind to defend his home. Plus,
it's the first day of school. I'm Georgina Fernandez outside of Chinook Elementary School, where we're eagerly awaiting the first batch of students to arrive. I'll tell you what parents and students need to know to be successful this year.
And good morning, everyone. On this Thursday, first day back to school. Well, on a staggered schedule and for, different districts across the state.
Little
but we
kids
know.
today, right?
Yeah, I know my little one. I got a fourth grader. It is her first day back to school.
Is she excited?
Yes, the outfit is picked out. The hair is done. And, so it's exciting. But it's it's another year. I'm okay.
No, I used to love the first day of school.
Yeah,
I did too. Getting all dressed up. It's fun to
your
friends. The outfit was always imperfect.
It's fun to see what the kid looks like at the start of the day and when you take them home at the end of the day after playing and running. And
when reality sets in that they're back in school. But nonetheless, though, of course, drivers are going to be out. Kiddos are going to be out, bus stops. So we're back to that.
Yeah, so we do have to kind of give everybody a little extra time today just because, there are going to be a lot more people on the roads and people doing new schedules that they're not used to or not back in the groove with yet. 54 degrees out of Stevens International Airport. So we are on the warm side. That's good news. We're at 53 into the interior in Fairbanks. And yes, you guys are seeing some of that rain. It was in western Alaska yesterday. And as we said, it's kind of moving across the state and moving into the interior today, so expecting that rain. We're at 50 degrees over in Muldoon, 49 for you at the Campbell Creek Science Center, 53 around J-Bear, 48 in Eagle River. Let's take a look at some of the regions around the state. We saw a little bit of rain here in the Anchorage area yesterday afternoon and a possibility of a few showers again today. I don't expect a lot, but some isolated showers might come through. Into the interior, there is that rain moving through for you, and some of it is a little bit on the heavier side, so we are looking at that. And then still dealing with that flood watch out for the southern Seward Peninsula. This is because of all the heavy rain that moved through on Tuesday and Wednesday in that area of the state. Kotzebue saw a lot of rain as well. Currently, we're seeing some clear skies in northwest Alaska, but rain in McGrath, rain for you in Fairbanks, Utqiagvik, a mixture of rain and snow. And then here in the south central area, a little bit of rain around Eureka and Talkeetna, but overall, we've just got some clouds. Over the next couple of days, we are going to see some cloudy conditions. And of course, because it is the first day of school, we got to do our bus stop forecast. We got 54 degrees as you're heading to school, and as you're heading home, again, a chance of a few showers with mostly cloudy skies and 60 degrees.
In this morning's top story, today marks the first day of school for select districts in the state.
Yeah, in just a few hours, bus stops will be packed and halls will be filled. Georgina Fernandez joins us live from outside of one of those schools today as the start of the school year kicks off in Anchorage.
Happy first day of school, Kristen and Ariane. We're outside of Chinook Elementary School, where in a few hours, we're going to start seeing all those Chinook Elementary School King Salmon students rolling up for the first day of their 2025-26 school year.
Yeah, I'm really excited to welcome back our students to the first day of school.
ASD is starting today in a staggered schedule for select grade levels. In ASD, students entering 1st through 6th grade and also incoming freshmen start today's. And we won't see 7th through 8th and 10th through 12th graders return to the classroom until tomorrow. And all ASD preschool and kindergarten students don't start until the 21st. Meanwhile, in Juneau, flood conditions have delayed the start of the school until tomorrow, the 15th, with kindergarten starting on the 19th. The district says delaying the start date allows for unified command staff and safety crews to assess damage in the valley area. And in Matthew Borough School District, everyone returns to school today with the exception of preschool and kindergartners who start on the 21st. It's a time of year that the Matthew superintendent tells us he's excited about.
This is always an exciting time of the year for me. It's my 36th year in education, and I am just as excited this year as I was 35 years ago when I started my first year of education.
Lots of excitement to look forward to as we move in with the new year. But the excitement as the first year might be for some kids, it can also be a day filled of first day butterflies. Here's how mental health experts say letting your kid have some control can help navigate those feelings.
We can make sure that the kids around us have some control about their day. No, I don't mean they get to choose to go back to school, but they can choose things like perhaps what their breakfast might look like in the morning, or packing their own healthy lunch, or even what clothes or shoes they want to wear on the first day.
And again, the first day of school for many grade levels start today on that staggered schedule. So be sure to practice extra caution today when you're on the road and looking out for those kiddos walking or biking to school. And coming up later on in the show, I'll tell you what changes you can expect to see this upcoming school year. Kristen, Ariane.
All right, thanks, Georgina. Happening tomorrow, President Trump is set to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, a base still used to track and deter Russian aggression. After speaking with Ukrainian and European leaders yesterday, the president said he intends to find out if a second meeting with Putin is possible. Jared Hill reports.
I'm going to find out where we are and what we're doing.
President Donald Trump managing expectations ahead of tomorrow's meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Also issuing a warning to Putin if he thinks the Russian leader isn't serious about ending his war with Ukraine.
There will be very severe consequences.
Friday's summit seen as an opener to a possible second round that would include Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Now, there may be no second meeting because if I feel that it's not appropriate to have it because I didn't get the answers that we have to have, then we're not going to have a second meeting.
This comes after Zelensky and European leaders pressed President Trump to push for a full ceasefire during a video call. Afterward, the Ukrainian president said he warned Trump that Putin is bluffing, though European leaders say they hope the meeting is successful. Jared Hill, CBS News.
In preparation for the summit, you will notice some changes in and around Anchorage over the next couple of days. The Federal Aviation Administration and NORAD issued a temporary flight restriction over the city tomorrow. Pilots are urged to check all FAA notices before flying. NORAD says fighter aircraft will intercept any plane that violates the restriction, something officials strongly advise pilots to avoid. Meantime, on base, expect some minor traffic disruptions as increased security presence will be noticeable. However, officials say that the impact to schools there will be minimal.
Governor Dunleavy says he's hopeful the two leaders will develop a plan to end the war in Ukraine. Augusta McDonald sat down with him to get his thoughts on the summit.
How would you end the war in Ukraine?
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people don't think about these things, but for example, the Europeans buy a lot of energy from Russia. If the Europeans stopped buying energy, I know this is kind of almost contradictory or counterintuitive, but many of the Europeans are calling for support of Ukraine in this war and want the United States to support Ukraine, which we have. But at the same time, a lot of European nations are actually buying energy from Russia. If they stop buying energy from Russia, it kind of dries up the funds to fund this war. Same with the Chinese, same with the Indians. If they did not buy energy from Russia, Russia would not have the funds to prosecute this war. And so I guess my message to the Europeans would be, you know, don't talk out of both sides of your mouth, but in fact focus on not funding this Russian war by looking at energy in other places, like America, for example.
Okay. It's significant that the president of Russia is going to be here in terms of security for this meeting. What measures have been taken to ensure folks in Alaska are safe with two world powers essentially meeting here so close to Anchorage? Yeah,
great question. The meeting is going to be on the base, which is probably the safest place you can find in the state of Alaska. Very secure. We've been working with the White House team that comes out and plans all these things early on since Saturday. So I think they got it well in hand. The base has it well in hand. I think both the President, Trump, and Putin will be safe on the base. I don't anticipate anything happening. I hope and pray that it doesn't. But nonetheless, I think having it on the base makes a lot of sense from that perspective.
And logistically, having this happen here, obviously you've probably known about it a little bit longer than the rest of us, but in terms of the logistics of getting both Trump and Putin here and the impact on, the surrounding communities, how did this go? Was Alaska prepared to host this type of summit?
Well, it happened pretty fast. But again, it makes sense because the President of the United States just flies over the U.S. and Canada. And President Putin just flies across the Arctic to come over here to Alaska. So in terms of international airspace, there's very little international airspace, except for the president coming up through, over Canadian airspace. And Putin just has a few miles going across the Bering Sea to get to Alaska. So makes sense from a logistics perspective, a flight perspective. Having it on the base makes sense from a safety perspective, a security perspective. So I'm glad they're coming. I'm glad they're here in Alaska. Again, I always think of Alaska as the center of the world. And that's what you're going to see on Friday. There's a lot of eyes on Alaska.
Now to an update in Juneau, where residents near the Mendenhall River evacuated amid rising floodwaters while others stayed behind. Evacuation orders are now dropped as the floodwaters are now receding. Lauren Maxwell spoke with one man who chose to stay home while his family fled to safer ground.
Scott Griffith didn't get much sleep Tuesday night.
I'm pretty tired. Yeah, pretty exhausted. It's been a long night.
Fighting the floodwaters in front of his house and praying for relief.
It's been nonstop since we got the alert. I've pretty much been on the go and running a pump, trying to stay ahead of it, all night. And then, you just waiting for it to crest where you can start to relax a little bit.
It's the third year Griffith's property has flooded after a glacial lake outburst, sending the Mendenhall River rising to record levels. But this year, he says, the damage wasn't nearly as bad.
I mean, literally, this was all wet like an hour ago. So the water's all, it's kind of really gone down.
Griffith credits an 8-foot barrier erected by the city earlier this summer that kept floodwaters from entering his home. The barriers have received some criticism. Griffith says water did manage to seep underneath, but
they did seem to, for the most part, do their job.
He's grateful his family and most of his belongings are safe, but questions whether it was really worth it to stay behind.
Oh, I don't know if I'd stay next year. It's just so stressful. I think I maybe would just want to leave, and what happens, happens. I don't know. I don't know if I would sleep if I left, though, either.
Mostly, he hopes it's something he doesn't have to go through again.
City officials said the damage would have been much worse without the barriers in place, although they are going to see if they can find a permanent solution.
Well, coming up, targeting crime in Fairbanks, more than 24 arrests made amid an effort to get drugs off the streets. Details on the ongoing operation.
And as fire season begins to wind down, the last remaining wildfire evacuation order in the Fairbanks area is lifted. The borough mayor looks back on this year's season.
And here's a look at your daylight hours, sunrise, sunset times across the state. Here in the Anchorage area, 6:06 is our sunrise time, 5:35 in the interior, Juneau. Just in about 5 minutes for you, 5:18 and 6:54 in Southwest Alaska. I'll have your full forecast when we come back.
Good morning, everyone. No bears, just some salmon jumping, hoping to make their way upstream.
Okay, some of them just look like they're jumping straight up.
They look like they're just having fun.
They don't quite get the whole.
Man, I'd be tired.
Seriously, look at how high they have to go. And it's so fun when you watch and you see them make it through. It's really kind of fun.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And then you see the bears just standing there.
And the bears grab them and eat them, and there's circle.
The circle. No, okay. I can't sing that song. Anyway, it's too high. Okay, here's what we've got going on across our state. We do have some rain moving through, and I have to say it, some rain mixed with snow in northern Alaska. No accumulation, but yeah, we're getting back to that time of year where we are likely to see some snow moving through the northern portion of the state. But overall, it's rain into the interior. We're going to see a few showers down here in South Central, and then we've got some rain developing and moving into the southern panhandle. Doesn't really look like it will be impacting the central and northern portions of the panhandle, which is good news. Juneau's already dealing with that flooding. We don't need to add more water into the mix. Here's what we've got going on. As I said, though, we've got that system moving through the interior. That front is swinging through. It should break up by tomorrow morning. We'll also see those clouds move out of south central. And behind it, we're going to see some really good patches of sunshine. That will be in northwest and southwest Alaska and here in south central as well. All looking for some pretty good patches of sunshine to develop over the next couple of days and even into Saturday. Check out all this clear sky into the central interior and northern Alaska. And then we'll have, as I said, pretty good sunshine here in south central. Southeast, by that point, you will be looking at a few showers coming through. For the southeast area today, mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. Still temperatures on the warm side, mid to upper 60s, but not quite as bright sunshine, beautiful day as you've been having. But we are looking for some warmer temperatures and fairly dry conditions once again for today. Into the interior, Fairbanks, you're seeing those showers. Healy likely to see a few rain showers as well. We could see a few showers around Tok and Delta Junction, but overall cloudy to mostly cloudy skies in northern Alaska. This is where we're seeing that rain-snow mix around Utqiagvik. As I get, and not really expecting any sort of accumulation with this and turning to all rain as we move into the afternoon. Cloudy skies around Dead Horse, mostly cloudy. If you happen to be around McGrath, you'll see some showers this morning until those rain showers continue to move to the east. And then we're going to see that sunshine develop. Mostly sunny around Kotzebue and a good sunny breaks in Nome out toward the Aleutian Islands. It will be mostly cloudy to partly sunny with mid-50s, especially around the Cold Bay area. Into the south central area, we're basically going to see mostly cloudy skies. Could see a little bit of extra sun for you around Seward. A little bit windy too tonight in the Kodiak area. Probably not until after midnight, but give you a little bit of advanced warning. We are looking at some heavy winds coming through after midnight, gusts to 45 miles per hour. A little bit of sunshine showing up around Whittier, at least some spotty sunshine. Those showers this morning in the Susitna Valley, mostly cloudy to cloudy for the rest of the Matanuska Valley. For the Anchorage area, we could see an isolated shower or two. I went ahead and put it on the map. Mostly cloudy for our Friday, but decreasing clouds through the day. And we're going to see that sunshine as we get into Saturday and Sunday, highs in the mid to upper 60s. Into the interior Fairbanks, rain for today. Mostly cloudy skies, though, as we go into the rest of the week. And we are looking at mostly cloudy pretty much through the weekend. Your temperatures will stay into the mid-60s. So overall, we do have a little bit of rain coming through. And yes, we're starting to talk about snow.
Oh,
boy.
No, not yet.
Okay,
Not yet.
hold
I know.
on.
We've, a lot of the state not seeing snow yet, but in northern Alaska, that's where we're headed.
All right, thanks, Tracy.
In an effort to crack down on crime, state, local, and federal officials spent 2 days in Fairbanks in an operation to target drug trafficking. 27 people were arrested, according to the Department of Public Safety. Officials seized more than $10,000 in suspected drug cash, 5 guns, and drugs, including meth, fentanyl, and mushrooms. Arrests ranged from warrants and probation violations to serious charges like attempted murder. Troopers say more operations like this are coming.
As summer winds down, so is our wildfire season in Fairbanks. North Starborough Mayor Grier Hopkins says Fairbanks is out of the woods as far as threats to homes and properties go. Now, some fires may still be smoldering, but all evacuation orders have now been lifted. So far this season, more than 100,000 acres have burned in the interior, destroying 2 buildings, neither a primary home, though. Officials say constant updates, alerts, and resources helped keep residents informed, and they hope to start that process even earlier next season.
Also, one of the big things we're going to be accomplishing is looking for grants to implement our community wildfire protection plan. How can we get grants to help make fire breaks? Build cisterns and water supplies all across the borough in strategic locations to make firefighting even easier.
The mayor says people who signed up for the borough's alert system this year don't have to sign up again next year. A volcanic ash advisory for Northwest Alaska was lifted Wednesday following the cancellation of 5 Alaska Airlines flights on Tuesday.
The flights to Nome, Kotzebue, and Utqiagvik were canceled as a precaution after ash from a Russian volcano drifted over the Bering Sea. The event serves as a reminder that volcanic hazards can affect the entire state.
This was a case in Northwest Alaska where there really are no active volcanoes near them, but in the vicinity, to where the upper level winds can carry ash over the course of a day or two, as we saw this week, they can certainly be impacted.
The National Weather Service says that the level could still change as ash continues to move north and east from Kamchatka Peninsula.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.